stream. And the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Millie Cady as Coracoid.
Hello.
David Archambault as Kneecap.
Not good tea.
Nobilis as Cuspid.
Greetings.
Jason Banks as Radius.
At this point, I think it's a buy one, get one on Tarsus.
Lee Burdett as Malleus.
He's just trying to catch up with the Kneecap.
And last but not least, Paul Weimer as Tarsus.
Run.
Yeah. So, when last we left our heroes, they had traveled to the gate town of Sylvania, aka Party City. It is a forest city that just seems to be filled with one party after another. The skeleton crew managed to get lured away to what they were told was the residents of some Norns who could help them figure out their fate issue. Turns out, hags that wanted to eat them. They ran away, but they were unfortunately unable to leave with their entire party intact. Their companion Tarsus had ingested some poisoned tea and ended up paralyzed and was unable to flee with them. And so, fortunately for the party, they have this sort of reality glitch where if they die, they just get a replacement that pops right back in. And so that provides some tactical choices that you might not make if you didn't have a glitch like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tarsus is not actually dead right now.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. We left off with everyone else basically running into the woods and presumably heading back to Sylvania, unless you want to tell me different.
No, that makes perfect sense. Yes.
That's what I would think.
Makes sense. So tell me, how are you going to find your way back?
I think part of what Kneecap would have done going there would be to try and remember the path they took.
Yeah, sounds sensible. You want to roll for me?
Sure.
I think survival is the obvious one, unless you want to pitch me something else.
Survival sounds good. So. Great.
Oh, okay. Yes. It just so happens that you were just wary enough on your way out there that you were paying attention to certain landmarks. And even though it is now dark in this overgrown forest, and it's a forest that seems like it's kind of trying to trick you, but no one's tricking Kneecap. Not this time. Not again.
Yeah.
You just got tricked the last time. You're just like, nobody tricked me anymore. That's Kneecap's new motto. And you are able to retrace your steps quite well and lead the rest of your party back to Sylvania, where you know you're getting close when in the distance you start hearing. So yes, certainly you make your way back to the town. You don't have a new Tarsus yet, but perhaps what's the plan? Are you just going to resume your intended business here in Sylvania, or?
I think that's the reasonable thing to do at this point.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back and get him now that we know what we're facing. I mean, he's We don't have a new Tarsus yet. He's
Yeah.
not dead yet. I don't think leaving him in the hands of hags is a good
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, I mean, let's consider that they've got a really big guy who's really tough and heavily armored.
I'm not saying kill the hags. I'm saying steal Tarsus.
Yeah.
There's a
Right.
But did you
difference.
consider the really big guy?
Yeah,
Big,
and we can run really fast.
And
big bigger hole.
and
Yeah.
also we were caught a bit off guard, but I think having a little more foreknowledge may make it a bit easier.
I, I mean,
Need better
okay, so,
escape
all
to
right,
do that.
then let's hear your plan.
You didn't think that part through, did you?
No, my problem is I was, trying to figure out how I felt about this. I haven't gotten that far yet.
What I'm
Well.
saying is,
You have 14% of a plan.
Well,
Annie, if we're going to do this, we got to do it with a plan, and the plan has to deal with how do we handle big scary armor dude and two grannies who can turn you into a toad.
I think it was
Right.
three. I think Chatty. I
Right.
think Chatty counts as number 3.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, 3 of them. That's a lot. That's a lot. And while we have like an insurance policy, if we fail, we'll come back. But I don't know. They sound like the kind of people who are going to kill you right away. And while we're not under a great deal of time pressure, we do have this mission we're supposed to be doing.
but here's the thing. We don't have a new Tarsus yet. So they didn't
Okay.
kill him. So that means
Alright.
either they're expecting us to come back or something else is more afoot here than just simple food for them, I guess.
Well, I mean-
Tarsus, you fall out of a tree.
well, that answers that.
Well,
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna do that, Jim.
Okay. Well, at least he's not being tortured forever.
Okay, so this Tarsus is carrying a dagger instead of a mace, and both his eyes are just shades of blue. Different shades of blue.
Mhm.
And Kneecap goes right up to him and
Oh,
looks
hello.
him over. Like
Did you
Cap
just-
do.
Listen to that. You might call me a jack of all trades.
oh,
We will probably find out before too long.
sorry you had to go through that. But at least you're back now.
And Tarsus looks at the 5 of you as if trying to figure
No,
out
I'm not
your
there right
deals. Oh, that's right. You're not there right now.
Yeah.
The 4 of you is trying to figure out your deals.
Yeah. I mean, usually when another one of us shows up, there's still a corpse around.
Was Cora just flickered out of existence or last
Yeah,
time? Okay. Well,
yeah,
That's right.
I flickered.
I think all of you
'cause-
suddenly realized, oh wait, she is there and she has been all the time. When
No,
was she not there? I don't remember.
No, she's not. No, she's not there yet. I have a plan.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's
Would it
called
help
when they
for
get
me
to
to know
the
what the
town.
plan-
Well,
okay.
when they get to town,
All right.
I'm already partying.
Fair enough. Okay. All right.
Well, since we decided not to go finish our situation with the hags, hopefully they
Yeah.
don't come to find us. Or hopefully we're at least hopefully we're out of town and finished with our business before they decide to get hungry again. If they even, is it sustenance? Sure, probably. It's terrible either way.
Yeah.
They're hags. Who knows what they want?
Right.
They want Tarsus. Wanted Tarsus.
Yeah. So I think that as you're kind of having this conversation on the path, a half elf and a satyr are coming and passing by in the direction of Sylvania, and they're holding some brightly, colorfully wrapped gifts. And they see you all and they say, "Ah, greetings! Are you also coming to Prince Felinixius Bombo's birthday?"
Who that?
"Oh, well, he is simply the most splendid fellow, and it's his birthday. You should come along with us. The more the
Where's the
merrier, they
birthday?
say."
Where is it being held?
He just kind of gestures down the path towards Sylvania.
Oh, okay. Well, we're heading that
It
way.
leads you right back outside of the
Yeah,
back
right,
into the
right.
forest.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The walk.
yeah, we're heading that way.
All right. So you all follow them then?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. So yeah, you're heading back into the gate town, and just since we are getting back, I'll reread the flavor language of merriment and music fill the air beneath a canopy of colorful foliage. Marvelous buildings encircle the trees or are built amid their spreading boughs. Passing revelers wave and offer you crowns woven of fresh, colorful flowers. As they do, your Mimir chimes, and its eyes twinkle in rainbow hues.
Okay.
So, back into town. Do you have your plan?
So basically, like the next kind of open square, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
um, they're if they first actually hear the bagpipes over other sounds first, and I'm just like like standing there playing because I can, and these people look like they're actually interested in partying. I'm thinking like so there's this uh wo- lady on YouTube, I forget her full name, but her YouTube channel is like Snake Charmer or something like that, and she plays the bagpipes, but she's also from India. So she'll do some traditional stuff, and then she's got some amazing fusion stuff as well
Interesting.
of bagpipes and Indian music.
Very cool.
So
Yeah.
very danceable.
Mhm.
So I imagine the rest of you realize, oh hey, look, Cora.
Yep.
I think all of a sudden Kneecap just appears next to you, looking up at you.
Well, it's a better surprise than being turned into a mouse. So. Let's see what this birthday's about, though. Especially if
Sure.
it's such a
Yeah,
to-do
well,
to keep
so if
performing.
Cora is continuing to perform, the revelers are headed towards the party. They say, "Oh, are you coming?"
Yeah, I'll join up. It's like, hey, maybe they want more music.
All right. Oh, I imagine that would be wonderful. I don't know the prince's opinion on bagpipes specifically, but I know
I
he
can
loves
do-
music.
I can do other things. This is just my preferred party trick, if you will.
Wonderful. Come along. The more the merrier. And they lead you down some more paths and eventually into another plaza where you see there is a great big table full of gifts. And there's an obvious crowd, gathered around someone. You would imagine, perhaps, the birthday boy. But you see just a crowd of people gathered around somewhere, and the people who've led you here put their gifts on the table and then head over to the crowd, pushing through, and you hear people cheering "Happy Birthday" in the group there.
Ooh. I will. I'll go over and see what's happening at the excited table.
Okay.
Do they have? Is there a table of like foods and stuff, or is it just like?
Yeah, so there's the big table that had all the gifts on it as you're entering, but then there's also a table with food, and it's got a lot of fancy crudité and hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that.
I will just get a small little thing of like hors d'oeuvres or whatever, and then drift over to where they were saying happy birthday and listen in to like what this person is saying if they're
Sure.
leading a conversation.
All right.
I think Kneecap is gonna kind of, weave through people's legs and such to try and get a look at who the birthday
Sure.
boy is.
Yeah, it's not so difficult. Like making any effort at all to try to get towards where you can see the the guest of honor is not so difficult. And when you do, you realize that everyone in the center is gathering around and singing and cheering for a quipper, which is a tiny little fish like a piranha, sitting in a floating punch bowl full of violet liquid and wearing a tiny little crown. And that appears to be what everyone is talking to and cheering for.
I think Malleus, once he sees that, is going,
I mean, we've seen
is it
Stranger
food?
Things.
No, not food. It's birthday.
Could I make an Arcana check to see if I recognize this fish person?
Sure.
Um. Oh my god, terrible. 14.
It's a fish.
It's
It's wearing a tiny little crown that someone seems to have stuck there with like a glue or something.
Does it seem to be talking back?
No. It's floating there like a fish.
Oh wow. Okay. So okay.
It does not seem to be particularly aware of the people around it.
Kneecap is gonna go up to it and try and say, "Hello, happy birthday."
You do that, and it does the fish thing where it's just
And like,
yeah, it's not even especially looking at you.
Is the fishbowl sealed, or can
No, it is open on the top, but it's floating. It's not like sitting on a table. Something magical is like holding it up at about 4 feet high.
Oh, perfect. So
Okay.
Tarsus walk over to the bowl,
Mhm.
reach in and try to grasp the fish.
Okay, make a I guess a grapple check.
Athletics
Athletic.
versus gold.
Yeah.
So
That
grapple
That
check
would
would
be
be
possibly
strength.
athletics or strength, yeah.
Athletics. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, this is someone's pet.
I'm not so good at that apparently.
Yeah, it's
I think I fumble.
it's the scales are very slippery. But as you do that, everyone is just saying, "Please, please, sir, the prince does not tolerate the touch of commoners. It is enough that you may bask in his presence and wish him good tidings on his birthday, but please do not attempt to touch him."
I'm sorry. I step back from the bowl.
I'm so
Insight
sorry.
check?
You're a warforged this time still, right?
I'm a warforged. That is correct.
Okay. I was like, I am so sorry. We're not from around here, and my friend has unusual customs at his home.
Ah, yes. Well, it is certainly true that the prince is used to dealing with many representatives and delegates of different cultures, and so can be prepared to be understanding in this unfortunate circumstance, so long as it is understood now that the protocol is no touchy.
we'll go. Kneecap will go to the person who was just talking and say, "It's fish."
What is
No, this is the prince.
the prince?
Princess, sorry.
Um, uh, where,
I
where,
don't understand your question. I'm sorry.
where is their kingdom? May I ask?
They are a monarch of the universe. You know, it is not so much their territory is not defined by anything so mundane as borders.
Ah,
Uh,
Insight check.
I
I
think I did.
mean, Cuspid just kind of shakes her head and walks on.
Right.
Hmm.
This is
Yeah, Malleus can make an insight check if you want.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is just a fish that they're.
Right.
Nope.
As soon as they said monarch to the universe, I was
Nope.
like, ah.
No.
Yeah.
The original roll was a 7.
I mean,
I don't. After Chattius, I'm willing to believe anything.
yeah, I mean, like they seem like they mean it, but they
Yeah.
also
So
seem like a rather silly person.
yep.
Mm.
Yes.
So Malleus will give a slight little bow to the fishbowl and follow Cuspid. It's like,
Yep.
I want to get out of the crazy as soon as possible. The party vibes were awesome, but dude, these people are nuts.
The prince thanks you for your attendance.
Such weird people.
Kneecap, it's just
He looked
like
like a snack.
he keeps looking back. It's like, what, what, what happened?
Do you think they will ultimately eat him? Eat her?
Too
Eat
small.
them. Was it a prince or a
It was
princess?
a prince. Prince.
Prince.
I said
It was a
Prince
prince.
is fish.
Oh, Prince is fish. Yep.
Mhm.
I had
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you're walking down another path, having this conversation, a booming, furious voice followed by a peal of thunder cuts through the din of laughter and celebration. Nearby celebrants turn from their revels to look in the voice's direction, while others relocate their festivities. Um, and yeah,
Someone's angry.
and um, you're not like in a narrow isolated path here. You're just kind of, there's
Yeah.
lots of people coming and going, but one of the locals approaches you, a satyr in an airy gown whose eyes glow with tangerine light. It says, "Greetings. I presume that you are capable individuals, perhaps looking for temporary occupation."
Among other things.
We've been known to dabble.
Well, it just so happens that we are in need of individuals who are capable physically, but also with the discretion and courtesy necessary for a delicate task. Might
Oh, that
I
sounds nice.
impose upon you to hear more?
Sure.
Why
Tell us,
not?
tell us your story.
That sounds like us. We're totally discreet. Yeah.
So
Yep.
I am Spiritor Denai, and I am currently occupying Callista the Satyr, whose body you see before you. I am coming from the where was this place? It was one of the where was it? The Yearning Timbers, which is one of our grandest festival halls, but which is currently hosting an invite-only private affair that is being. Again, I'm sorry. Where's the organized information here is not. There's a private affair that is, as I mentioned, invite only, and yet we have an individual who is attempting to crash the party, such as it is, and yet this individual may not be permitted entry. However, I am concerned that their displeasure at this might cause trouble. And so I wonder if I could impose upon all of you to help her have a good time somewhere else for the evening.
All right. What's this individual's name? Or
Yes, please come with me, and I will tell you everything you need. The individual is an Empyrean named Kopoha, who is the celestial child of a god of storms, and she is certainly someone of distinction who might ordinarily expect to be allowed anywhere they choose to go. However, in this particular it is an event being hosted by Rilifane Rathali, who is an elf god of nature, and they have a guest list. And Empyreans, as the children of gods, are very powerful and charismatic and emotional. And in addition to them being very large and powerful, their emotions can actually affect their world around them. The thunder you heard was the result of their frustration. And I am hoping that if she can be kept in a good mood, then everyone else can stay in a good mood.
Well, we have performers amongst us.
Oh, wonderful. So, if I could ask you to then, escort her away and try to help her have a good time somewhere else, what ask would you make of the spirit of Sylvania?
Um,
Need
the
go.
lo-
Need gate. Need need see gate.
the location of the gate
Oh,
to Arborea.
the portal to Arborea.
Yes.
Certainly. That is well within my power. I can absolutely escort you directly to the gate if and when you are able to help solve this little problem.
Right then.
We will.
And
How do we
get
as
out
find
of
you
they
again
lead
when
you
we finish this?
into, a big plaza outside an incredibly large, ornate festival hall, you see an 18-foot tall, human-like woman with marble skin and eyes crackling with lightning crouches to agitatedly argue with a calm, silver-haired elf. Beyond the elf is a rollicking celebration taking place inside a towering banyan tree strobed with colored lights. So Denai gestures and just says, "This is Kopoha. Good
Kneecap's
luck."
gonna Kneecap's gonna run right up to them and stand next to the elf.
Okay. So yes, this. First of all, let me give you a handout. I'm giving you a handout of Kopoha the Empyrean.
Hmm.
The big
18
one.
feet tall.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and as she is just looking down at this elf, she's just saying, "You don't understand who my father is, who my sister is, who my mother is. This is a party that should be lucky to have me." And you're seeing like
Apoha!
electricity crackling from her eyes and rumbling.
Apoha!
Oh,
Who? What? Who? What? Who?
Hey!
She
Hey!
peers down at you. This is uh um she looks at you and just says, I suppose you're not completely unworthy of my time. Why do you approach Kapoha?"
Want to play tap?
"What is that?"
You you try tap me, and if you and I try to not get tapped, and I make it sound like I'm uh, about to dodge,
Okay.
like getting ready to dodge some.
Okay. So I think she is going to make an unarmed attack.
Oh boy.
Not like, not.
No,
I'm not.
this is like okay if I all I have to do is tag him.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's going to. Um.
I can see how this is gonna go bad.
Oh, where's the? Did it not go? All right, hang on. The for some reason it's not doing the roll properly, but that's okay. She gets a 23.
So I would presume I'd be dodging, though, if it's a plus 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think and she's really big too. Like your
Yeah.
dodge is basically like sort of a fraction of an inch to her. Her finger is the size like is as big as your head. And so she's
Yeah.
kind of like she kind of just, pokes you, and I'm going to go ahead and just say she knocks you over with no damage.
And I figure, Kneecap will kind of go into a tumble and spring up to his feet and say, "Ooh, challenge!" and kind of start skittering around, like keeping an eye on her.
This
Just
has
trying
been
to
a
move away.
fascinating game, tiny creature, but I am trying to get into this party. And the elf is still just got his arms folded. It's like,
But more fun elsewhere.
do you want to make a persuasion check?
Okay. $11.
She kind of gives you a side eye, like, okay. And then she turning to the elf and just saying, "Listen, maybe I could just come inside for just like a little while and, just like put in an appearance, and then I could say I was there. Like, I don't need to hang out. You're making this really awkward for me. Like, now that I've said that I want to go, to not get in is like, it's a whole thing." And you're seeing like storm clouds start to gather
Okay.
overhead.
Kneecap is looking lost on this
All right.
and kind of sad.
I'll try stepping in along the lines of, well, obviously they don't understand your greatness if they won't let you in, so perhaps we should find some place that appreciates you better.
Making a persuasion check with advantage.
There we go.
Okay, 15, and I told it to go with advantage. Okay, 15 and 20, so the is 25 and 20.
That's pretty good. She kind of hears that and kind of, perhaps you're right. Perhaps this party will just have to do without the grace that I could provide it.
They're not worthy of your magnificence.
So, do you know a place that is?
We'll make one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We
We
will
shall.
throw a party in your honor.
Yes, we'll do a party in your honor.
Ha, wonderful. Although there's lots here already. I mean, I think just like we need like a big to do. Not
Yes,
yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
So-
actually,
Yes.
I can think of a place.
Hey, we just left a really raucous party for that
That prince.
for the prince.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the prince's birthday party.
Yes, but
Wow.
I mean, clearly I would be
royalty.
worried about that particular one just because having a creature as magnificent as our friend here arrive there might be seen as one-upping the host there. It's a delicate situation. I think we're better off creating a new one.
I wonder-
I hear what you're saying, young
My name is Cuspid. Thank you.
Cuspid, yes, Cuspid. I hear what you're saying. However, I have the experience and grace and courtesy necessary to navigate those sorts of awkward situations.
Of course you do, Great One.
Sure. So I like the idea of a party with royalty. I if you know if I
Well,
think
why don't we stop there first? And if they can't appreciate you, then we'll find someplace else. We'll search for the best place to understand your grace.
A party crawl.
A party
Yeah.
crawl.
Yeah.
Oh,
a
fun.
party crawl. That's stupendous.
And given your
Yes.
size, you might need to crawl to get into something.
Sure.
Yeah.
A sampling of all the parties that Sylvania has to offer. A
Yes.
smorgasbord of celebration. I love it. Let's begin.
All right.
And,
So
if
So-
Tarsus would allow it, Kneecap is going to kind of climb on top of him, kind of, and sit on his shoulders, and just like throw,
Okay, you can do
lights
that.
and noises with minor illusion. Like, kind of announce the party.
yeah, and I'll start up like I'll probably do more drums because then we can do the orate over about her magnificence
Mhm.
and all the bullshit that bards do.
So 1 second. Yeah, so let's see. As we are like moving along, let's have everybody make a perception check.
Not too good at
Perception,
things.
21.
Not bad.
perception,
22.
perception. I am not perceptible.
Okay.
I'm only 11.
All right.
17 for me, not bad.
Nice.
12 for me, that's awful.
Okay, so I think that Malleus had the 22. What did you say you had, Kneecap?
21.
21. Okay. So Malleus, I think you're definitely on the lookout and you're gauging the various different parties. Kneecap, Tarsus kind of feels a little weird. Like as you're climbing on him, he doesn't like what you're feeling doesn't seem to entirely match what you're seeing.
And I'm gonna kind of go over, kind of hang by my arm on his neck,
Hey,
and
that hurts.
what? What's going on? Tarsus?
Kapoha is looking back at you, hanging back, saying, "What's the holdup? Wait, I'm anxious to begin our smorgasbord."
We talk later. And then get back up on his shoulders and point forward.
All right. So I think as you're moving along, you, Malleus, with your as the highest perception, you spot what looks like a really sort of grooving dryad dance party. They've got a lot of music going and flashing lights. That seem to be energetic fireflies that are they're doing coordinated like drone type displays. And there's lots of there's 10 dryads in there singing and dancing, and as soon as you indicate to Kapoha, she says, "Yes, dancing! That's what I'll do first! Dancing!" And she charges off, and you feel the ground shaking as she is running over there.
And I kind of, right, I almost like,
You gonna try and drive
like
Tarsus?
yeah, kind of push his head forward
Oh.
to make him move.
All right. Well, so here's the thing that you all realize immediately is that these dryads are, normal, medium-sized creatures, and they're having an energetic dance. But Kapoha is 18 feet tall and enthusiastic, and you can tell just right away she does not look like graceful. Which is not necessarily something like she wouldn't need to be graceful, except unless she is kind of enthusiastically dancing amongst people who only come up to halfway a point of her shin, or her knee.
Right.
And so you, I think, recognize as she begins to dance that several of the dryads are having to like leap out of the way. And so I think someone is going to need to try to run crowd control or steer her in some way.
Okay, in order to give the dryads a better chance to evade her things, if there's like saving throws involved, I'm going to cast. How many of them are there?
There's 10 dryads.
10 dryads. Okay, that's rather a lot.
Mhm.
Wow.
You gonna
Okay,
try to
my
bless
thought
them?
is not. I was going to try using bless, but
Is-
that's not going to work in this case.
Is there a slightly clearer section?
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
so she's trying to dance with everybody else, and so she's
Yeah.
kind of aimed herself towards the center of activity. There are areas where there would be more room, but she would need to kind of be guided that way.
Okay.
So I have an I have an
I'm
idea.
going to okay. I'd like to try to start a congo line.
Okay.
Conga line.
Okay.
And kind of put her at the front
Uh-huh.
so that everyone else can be behind. And then after a little moment, kind of like after a little bit of this, kind of say, hey, maybe if you step over to here, everyone
Well, so
can...
I think I love
Yeah.
the conga line idea. Absolutely. I adore this idea. I think we need to check though, right?
Performance or
So
persuasion?
I think well, performance is what seems most obvious to me, but if you
Oh,
prefer
no, I'll go
persuasion,
with
that-
performance.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
plus 10.
Mhm.
Can Kneecap help?
Okay, it's
Yeah.
only a 19.
Yes, I think she's like, a conga line. I have heard of this. Splendid. How do I do it?
And then I'll since I've already got drum out, I'll start out in front
Mhm.
and I'll do the not putting hands on hips version right
Mhm.
now because
Well, yeah,
size
like
differences,
yeah.
but so I'll start
I think if
and
like
start leading her.
someone tall could probably reach her butt.
No.
Yeah, and I don't want to offend her.
Right.
So
But I think also what happens is that everyone else following her kind of has to really like take big long steps to try to keep up. Because her
Well,
ordinary
I mean,
steps,
so-
even doing the conga line dance, da, 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 right? It's
well,
like
the thing is, if she's following me, she can't go that far.
okay, sure. If you
So
so,
you're
I
quoting her.
thought you were having her lead is the idea.
Well, I thought but what she said, like, how do you do it? Like, okay,
okay,
I'll show
sure.
you.
Okay, gotcha.
And then
All right, yeah. So
get into the groove.
yeah. So her like hands are like the just trying to think of I mean this is she 18 feet tall, so like her hands are just huge.
Yeah.
Compared to you, but she leans down and she is very gently kind of touching your shoulders to follow and doing the dance. And it takes her a little bit, to try to. She's learning the dance, but then she really enjoys it, and everyone else kind of starts to follow, clearly relieved that they're not being trampled.
Yeah.
And it just seems fun. She seems like she is having such a good time. Like. She's not good at dancing, but she's one of those people who's just clearly having so much fun doing it that you can't help but be kind of charmed by her.
Yeah.
Radius would like to see if there's a nearby party I could guide the entire conga line to.
That's awesome. That's an awesome
Let's see
idea.
if we could get the whole city.
The largest conga line in Sylvanian history.
Hey,
Sure.
there you go. That's how we do it. They're
Yeah.
they're kind of people are kind of competitive. We'll say we're trying to do the biggest conga line ever.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, tell me how you would be attempting this.
Like
Like, what are you doing specifically? Because we've got this enormous conga line going around this one little area right now. What's the next? What's step 2?
I will, let's see. I will tell the leader of the line, wait for my signal. And then can I spot a party nearby?
I mean, yeah, there's several. You
throw
weren't
a
too
rock, you hit
far
a
from
party.
the
From
the prince's
prince.
party. But there's kind of parties everywhere. Like, this is, one of those like uh, this place is almost like a mall of parties, right? It's just like there's 100
Right.
little alcoves that everyone's got their
So
own
I
little
will
thing.
I will dart up to the nearest one and be like, hey, man, this is gonna be terrible because I'm terrible at persuasion.
Oh, well, hey, you know what? Sometimes failing is interesting too.
Right. And I'm like, hey, we're trying to start a really big dance line because it's super fun. Mind you, though, it's coming from a dude who looks like a kind of a zombie.
Well,
Uh,
like this,
Hey,
they don't judge here in Sylvania.
Zombies
Yeah.
party
Yeah.
too.
The differently living are partying just as
Well,
hard as the
but let's see a persuasion
Normally
check
living.
though.
Come on.
Uh,
Okay, I'm sorry, man. It was a 12. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I think at 12 I think you get some people come and join, but like I think like you have expanded the line and you have increased the duration that this will entertain. But
Okay.
it's not going to be the whole town.
All right. So now I'm gonna start wasting spells. We're gonna have some fun here.
Wow.
So I will I will activate my book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Radius.
And I will go up to the our giantess
Kapoha.
at Kapoha, be like, Kapoha, when I give this signal, you scream conga line, and you lead us down the road to the party. And I will point in the direction of the prince's birthday.
Okay.
And I will cast fireball, and I will change the
Damage type.
damage type to water. Or a
Okay.
or ice or
Yeah.
I think
So yeah, I think. I mean, certainly, if you have the ability to change the damage type, cold type would be
yeah.
yeah. So, like, are you? Where are you?
And I'm
Like,
I want to launch it up so it whooshes in the air.
okay.
And once I've released it to do that, I would like to use
I mean,
minor,
you're trying to like make it rain?
yeah, to just change the color of the water, so it's like a colored mist or maybe a smoke or fireworks maybe, but I didn't want to do a real fireball because that would definitely set things on fire. And I know there's
well, you could
someone
do it like
here.
up in the sky, I suppose, but like
Okay, cool. Okay.
you know.
Yeah, if incidental fires maybe, sure, but that's fine.
yeah, too bad my pyrotechnics already used all of my spell slots for that.
only got
Yeah,
one
so
more-
like if the goal is to just sort of like make a big showy thing
Yeah.
to attract attention, yeah, you can certainly do that. Kaboom! And lots of people are looking from all over, and she's just like, oh yes, let's go.
Oh no!
And so leading that, we don't necessarily we're not necessarily going to have any single activity last all night, right?
Right.
But I think that this the dancing broadly and the conga line absolutely keeps her entertained for an hour or so, and then she kind of like, whew, wow, that was a lot of fun. I think I'm ready to move on with our crawl. Now perhaps we can find something that feels like a change of pace.
Mm.
And so I've got a list of things that you can find. You don't have to like think of things necessarily.
Well,
Um,
I was thinking like maybe move to a place like the kind of chill spot that Chattis brought uh Cuspid to.
okay, sure. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you can be like moving around towards other places for sure. I think as you're moving through some of these paths that are a little quieter, she's just like, oh, I tell you, I really needed this. It's it's hard being in the family of gods. They have a lot of expectations on you. They expect me to become a god someday, and they're always watching me or judging me and making sure I'm good enough. And that's just so much to live up to.
Do you want to become a god?
Well, I mean, I suppose so. Like, what else would I do? It's everything that has ever been planned for me, and I feel like I would like it, but I don't know. How can I ever live up to their expectations?
Oh,
Well,
I have heard the story about this fellow named Zagreus, the son of a god of the underworld, and nothing he does measures up, and his father kills him like every few days.
Oh,
He's
mood.
it's
And gets resurrected, he dies again. I have heard the story. It is
yeah,
tragic.
he's I mean
I have to say,
his
this story is not
family is
cheering me up
really
so
kind of
far.
dysfunctional.
But the point is, if you don't want to be a god,
Well, what
that's
if I
not the
do,
path you
though,
take.
but I'm just not good enough?
What are you good at?
To who?
Good enough according to whom?
Well, like my family, my parents, I feel like I do the things that they say, but then I try to go to a party and they turn me away. I
What
compete with my
okay,
sister, and
take a deep breath. Let's find a river or something that we can go sit next to, and we can talk this out. We can come up with a solution.
well, okay. Well, I
You
mean,
need therapy.
I guess I just feel like I'm having a good time tonight, and that just helps because it makes me feel like I don't know. I I I the they're actual gods already, right? Like, and they have god level expectations of me, and I want to meet their expectations, but I just
Okay.
I mess things up sometimes, and
Well, you're young as far as gods go, so you have time. But what like I don't really know how gods work, so you'll have to provide me with some insight. But like, what do they tell you to do? Let's start with that.
well, they're gods of storms, right? So
Mhm.
they're kind of in charge of storms, right? Making
Okay.
them and guiding them, and like stopping them if they're not in the right place, because like people make offerings to like have the storms not happen there. So you have to keep
Okay.
track of all of that. And then like I can make a storm, like like when I get really worked up, like, oh yeah, I can make, but the storms kind of like I can't control them so well. Like I can work myself up into the emotional state, but then it kind of gets away from me.
And
Okay.
Radius, hearing this, will come over and he'll kind of stare at her for a second, and almost as if he's seeing through her at something
Mm.
else. I'll cast guidance on myself, and then I would like to activate my past past life ability as a awoken,
Okay.
and he will say, "May I tell you a story? I can't tell you where it's from, but it seems very familiar. It's about a young archer and his overbearing mother and their family lineage of archery." And the and he starts going, and he talks about their adventures together, and he talks about how he was always trying to do just like his mother, but at some point or another he lost sight of his goals, and his crew members decided to remind him every so often to aim center mass.
Yeah.
And the moral of this story is sometimes you just got to mess up to get good.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Yes. And so that's also a D4 and a D6. It's a... And then, oh wow. So they were both 16s out of 15 plus
Guidance.
84.
Mhm.
What we got? Nice. Oh, so it's a baker's 20.
Nice. You know, I think as you say that, she is listening rapt, and again, you know, like she is like knelt down and leaning over to like look down at you and just say, yeah, yeah, I can do that. Messing up, I'm so good at messing up. I do it all the time.
It's how we get better.
Really?
Making mistakes. If you learn from them, you can't say it was all bad.
Thank you. Thank you. You told me your name, and I'm messing it up right now, but this is how I'll improve. If you tell me your name, then I'll remember it the next time.
He's like, my name is Radius, though the other's name was Rowan, I think. I wonder if that was a past life of mine.
Past lives are totally a thing.
Oh, looks over at Tarsus. Absolutely true.
And,
All right.
and
Well,
Kneecap is looking very intently at Tarsus.
all right. Enough talking. Time for more party.
That's my-
All right.
Woo!
Woo!
I think you lead her past a couple of parties that seem a little too sedate for her right now. She's like, no, I think we can do better. I think we can do better. But then you have approached near Goodberry Grove, which is the Pixie neighborhood in Sylvania. And there's a big sign that says, join the Pixie party, size not a factor.
Alrighty, so let's join the pixie party since size is not a factor.
Yep.
So as you are making your way down that that passage, you hear the music, and you realize as you walk closer and closer, you are shrinking. And by the time you reach this tiny little pixie-sized door, all of you have now shrunk to the size of pixies, except for Kapoha, who has shrunk to the size of a halfling. And so, like, there's not, like, she can't fit through the pixie-sized door, but as a halfling, she can actually just sort of step over the wall. And she is delighted by being so small, even though she is proportionally still as big compared to you as she was. But she is just, yeah. So you going in, this is a pretty cool party. There's pixies everywhere, but also lots of other, denizens who have also shrunk down in the way you have. But yeah, it's a pixie party, and you're all, 4 inches tall.
And
except for me and Kneecap.
Yeah.
We're 2 inches.
Yeah.
Kneecap would
I think actually a little bigger than that now that I think about it, just because you would probably be more like 6 to 8 inches tall, I think is the size of pixies in this setting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I think it would be reasonable that it's like 1 foot becomes 1 inch.
Yeah.
So we're only 3 inches high.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So in any case,
Kneecap would like to stay near Kapoha in case like she starts getting wild with her dancing, trying to
well, she's not. This isn't dancing so much, but this my PlayStation's making noises at me. Anyway, so it's not that she's dancing here, but she is so enthralled by being so much smaller, but still being big and strong compared to everyone else here. It's kind of like the idea of like, oh, look, now that that toadstool is as big as a tree. I wonder if I could still pull it up. Like that sort of
Oh.
thing, right? And so like she is like going around like testing her strength by picking up furniture, and she meets a squirrel and is delighted by being able to see it properly, and she's kind of boasting and sort of running a little obnoxiously around being so big. Like she's delighted by being so much smaller, and she is not fully appreciating how much still smaller everybody else is. And so you can see that that's starting to get on the nerves of some of the people that were here already.
Like, Kneecap would like to stick near her and help kind of steer her towards try and steer her towards areas with maybe a little fewer people, something that could be picked up, and she could show her strength without actually like upsetting someone that's resting or.
Okay. I mean, so like how are you doing that though? Like, because she's really excited.
Well, I basically, if I see that she's heading towards someone who looks like afraid or whatever, I'll like make a flash of light.
Okay.
For,
so this is going to be a persuasion check.
Okay.
And I honestly, I think right now this is kind of a disadvantage because you're specifically trying to draw her away from what she's wanting to do.
Okay. Ooh, a 5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She just said, "Yeah, in a minute. I'm in the middle of something. Check out this squirrel. Look how big it is." And she's kind of like, she got the squirrel kind of cornered a little bit. I'm suddenly imagining, that meme where the bigger person has like a hand against the wall, sort of pinning the other person, and it's often kind of a slightly scary but romantic sort of like vibe is the meme, but like doing that with a squirrel. And the squirrel is kind of like, I don't know what's happening right now. So so far that has not been effective.
All right.
I guess then we'll go to the squirrel and be like,
Well, is anyone else wanting to try something?
Yeah. Yes.
That's okay.
Tarsus is going.
Because Kneecap just tried some. So.
Yep. Tarsus is going to go over and is going to help the giantess in playing with the squirrel. Tarsus is going to join it.
Okay. So how? Tell me how.
He's going to be leering at the squirrel, saying, "Little squirrel, we're small now." Yeah.
All right.
He's basically he's going to be mocking the squirrel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Kapoha is kind of a little surprised at first, but then joins in. It's like, look, little
fun.
Squirrel. Yeah. This doesn't seem to have impressed anybody else, though.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, if anyone else wants to try something, it's getting to the point where like some of the other members of the attendees of this party are going to say something.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I'm trying to think this.
Do we know what they're celebrating, or is it just kind of a random get together?
It's just they
Pixie
party a
party.
lot here. Yeah.
Oh man, do I have?
So I mean, to be clear, it doesn't like she's not like you don't really see like malice in this. She's just excited
Yeah.
and a little oblivious.
Yeah.
Yeah. basically what Kneecap was wanting to do would be to go up and try and communicate with the squirrel to give it steer give it an escape vector.
Okay. I mean, well, okay, but how though? You're describing the outcome, not your action.
So
Hmm.
basically, like go to about her ankle, Kapoha's ankle, and kind of jabber and gnomish up to the squirrel and say, hey, run this way, run this way.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. Like I think yeah, that's so but that's not so the squirrel gets away. Like, and she lets it go because like this is not all about that, but yeah, she is still kind of like rampaging uh playfully, obliviously through this place. And they're getting close to asking her to leave.
All right. Let's see about like um yeah, just trying to like suggesting, hey, maybe we can find a party that makes everyone bigger.
Well, but like we just got here though, and I've never been small before. Look,
Well,
I can pick up their whole bar. And
no, 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 no.
I mean, you can do that anywhere.
You want to make a persuasion check? I mean, you were kind of both helping there, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was
I'll
about to say which one.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I'll make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
23.
Okay. And she kind of just says, "Yeah, I guess I can, I suppose you're right.
Why don't we just go with the flow that's here?
I've got an idea. The pixies fly, right? The
Yeah.
pixies, yeah. So it's like, and they're kind of, their dancing is probably like flying around because that's their thing.
Oh.
So I'm going to cast fly on Kapoha.
Ooh.
She loves this, and I think there is, it at least initially, you've cooled her a little bit on the extravagant boasting and feats of strength and so on.
Mhm.
But the flying she loves. She's a little clumsy, but I think that you all see that uh, the other pixies here are kind of on the cusp because on the one hand, kind of like with the dancing before, like it's clear she's not trying to like hurt anybody or cause problems, but you feel like they need a nudge to see her as fun and not a pain.
Okay. Um,
So she is loving it. She's flying around and she's
so
like, "What? I'm like a pixie."
it's more convincing the others
Well,
that
right, yeah, because Kapoha is having fun. It's a question of whether the rest of the party is going to want her to leave because she's causing a scene.
Can I? Or go ahead.
Kneecap will go up to Cora and say, "Can make graceful?"
um let me check my spells.
Well, I'm thinking of its enhance ability.
I don't have that. Um
Okay.
Does there seem to be like
like
a specific type of pattern or like pixie dance or routine that they might be doing? Kind of like if you've ever been to a wedding and they do like the cha-cha slide or something like that,
I mean, yeah, I think any of these things could potentially,
Okay.
like it's the issue is, just
She's
imagine
massive.
you're at a cool
Yeah.
chill party and then a
and
giant suddenly starts going, "Hey, how's everybody doing? Yeah, isn't this really cool?" And everyone's kind of like, "Whoa, vibe is very intense here." But you could
Right.
maybe persuade them to think that's cool and not annoying.
Yeah. I want to try that, but I want to try it through the lens of like being like, maybe, hey, maybe if like we kind of teach her how to do the thing, it'll be less awkward. Like, you know, because she's trying her hardest, but she doesn't seem to be getting it.
Mhm. Sure. Like so.
Like, see about like teaching like a
Yeah,
dance
that's what
that
I,
they
and
want,
that's yeah, like whatever
teach her a
dance
dance
it
that
is.
like they teach kids.
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
and you know, maybe get the DJ involved because again, like if it's like
Sure.
a party, or not a DJ, but like whoever's playing music.
No,
to
there's
maybe,
definitely a DJ.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll try to see if they can help teach her the thing, so that way she can at
Okay.
least move with them and not be as against the flow.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll also like, hey, like basically, hey, one of the things that might help you just in general is learn to go with the flow of things as they are.
All right. Well, let's get a persuasion check from each of you on that.
Okay.
Oof. Hold on, that's oh god.
I rolled horribly for me.
Okay.
Let's see. That's a 12 for me.
Okay. I think a 12, you know,
That-
as
yeah.
offering a solution to the party DJ, I think is not a terribly difficult DC. The 11, I think, yeah, you know, it's like you don't fail. I think she's kind of like, yeah. I mean, so I think collectively all of this, it's like it's still like a little awkward, but at the same time, the DJ does get into some sort of a like a pixie version of the chicken dance or something like that.
Yeah, I was
Um,
thinking chicken dance. This is like kind of a good for kids thing.
Yeah. So like the squirrel dance is like yeah, so something like that. Yeah. So I think something silly like that definitely will kind of it gets everybody feeling like it's okay to do kind of a silly, clumsy dance.
Nice.
And so I think that eventually eventually kind of turns it back around and everyone everyone kind of enjoys watching her do it now that there's kind of a structure to the whole thing. There is another one of those fun little quotes that we read last time here. That's just a little sidebar thing, which is quote is "This song's about me," and said by Tuffian Tinalin, Pixie Celebrant, known as Fairy Fire, but not for the reasons you think. Yes. So in any case, after hanging out for another hour, Kapoha says, you know, I think we've had a great time, but I'm ready to move on and see what else Sylvania has to offer us tonight.
When were you thinking of turning it in?
What? Not yet. I mean, the
Oh,
night was
I'm just
young.
saying when, not now, not now. just wait.
She strikes me as someone with a good deal of endurance.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I don't have to sleep. Isn't that right, Tarsus? Elbow.
Yeah. She has a Constitution score of 30.
Oh,
I think
He's
she
got
might
endurance.
outdo the two of us.
Hey.
So I think that, but as she is willing to tolerate a slower, like, let's walk around to see what else there is to see, outside the main drag, so to speak. So moving a little more towards the outskirts. And she said, it was like there was a point in that last party where I just felt like everyone in there was like I was trying to to mess up to get good, but I just like it's frustrating sometimes just because my sister Elathera is just it seems like she's just amazing at everything. She doesn't have to do the the mess up part first, and I'm trying to live up to my, like, my parents too, but she just feels like she's so ahead of me.
Well, you don't have
It,
to.
you
You
don't
don't
have
have.
to live up to her. You have to live
Yeah.
up to yourself.
Yeah, and you don't have to purposely mess up. If you mess up, if you just happen to mess up, that's okay. But if you also succeed, that's okay too. Like you don't, you don't have to purposely mess up to get better. Just practicing and doing the things will get you better.
Well, yeah, but it feels like there's stakes, like I'm I'm just
Not
frustrated right now because, like, I was playing cards with Elethira, and she did something like fancy with the cards, and so I bet her that she couldn't do it again, and then she did it again, and now she took my mace, and so, like, that was my favorite mace, and but, like, I lost it fair and square. It's not like, but it's just because,
okay.
Well, why don't we go get it back?
well, she's not here, and, like,
Oh,
like, what are we gonna do? Like, I can't just, like, beat her up.
Well, where is she?
okay.
Maybe we can make another bet.
She's at home. Like, I came here to get
Okay.
away from there.
All right. Well, here's the thing. You don't have to worry about trying to get the mace back now. We can make a longer plan for that. But you know what? There's probably something she's really bad at. You just don't know it.
True.
You think?
And yeah, like,
He played
okay,
tap.
you, you, you see all of us together. We all have different things we're good at. I'll point over to Kneecap. He's really good at getting angry and hitting things. I do music. And kind of do a like do one of those, and we work together because we cover each other's
Deficiency.
weaknesses. And there's probably something your sister's bad at, and she's probably gets upset about it. She's just better at hiding that.
Well, there's
So,
another thing she's better than me at.
but
Well,
it
the thing
means
is,
it
like,
means she's not perfect. She's not perfect. Your parents aren't perfect. No one's
but they're
perfect.
literally divine. They are perfect.
No, divinity's not perfect. Uh, uh, uh,
It just, like, the problem is,
what
I feel like I should love my sister because she's so amazing, and yet I can't help but just feel jealous every time I look at her, and I feel like that makes me bad.
you are not bad for having your feelings. What
Mhm.
Well, is
if what can be bad is if you use your feelings to hurt someone else.
yeah, but also, what are they asking you to do something like a specific job? Like, are they expecting you to do something godly?
Well, I mean, eventually, yeah.
But what about now? What do they expect of you today?
Well, like, they're waiting for me to prove myself.
Did they even tell you what that meant?
They, I'm supposed to know, but I don't.
Well, what would maybe defeating a very dangerous creature might prove your worth?
What?
You know, like a giant angry man?
Um,
A monster.
Yeah, a
like,
monster.
just some monster?
That
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, an evil
monster
monster.
and three really mean and three really mean spell people.
Oh, I mean, I
Oh,
feel like that would depend a lot on the monster. Like, is it a famous monster or?
well, you have to work up to these things. You
I
can't just go
mean,
at the big guy, the biggest, baddest, like demon or anything right off the bat. You need a little practice. Looks like you're not used to fighting, right?
Well, I mean, it kind of depends because like I'm not really used to anything being anything that requires me to fight.
So you practice with smaller things, then work up. So this particular individual might be a
Oh,
good
so you guys
practice
like you're
point.
not even talking in abstract. You have a monster in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If fighting monsters is what you're after, there's a much better place to do that than
Oh
Sylvania.
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
Gloria.
they, oh my god,
Yep.
They would
That
they would
girl?
love you in Gloria. Oh my
Absolutely.
god.
Yes.
And
Literally.
Glorium,
You think?
Oh yeah.
totally.
Come on.
They
I mean, like, I know-
they like big strong people.
Well, I
Yep.
know Glorium. I mean, I came to Sylvania tonight because I wanted to party, though.
Oh, trust me, they can party too.
every night.
Like
I mean, it's
they
not the same
celeb-
as here. It's not
they
like a
s-
different this smorgasbord you can they have they specialize in one particular kind of party.
They
Mhm.
party. They celebrate everyone's successes.
And sometimes their parties are on boats.
Boat party.
Yeah.
Boat party.
Last time we were there, we were on a boat and definitely fought a giant monster.
I feel like I would have to be concerned that a mortal boat would not hold me.
Oh no.
They've got
Custom could just make you fly again.
well, no. Also, honestly, they have all types of boats, and
I'm kind of losing the thread here. What is it?
I
that you're
was about to
proposing?
say, weren't there giants there?
Yeah, there were giants there, but they were like we had to scare them off. That was a different thing.
Also, I'm not gonna like hold this against you, but like Empyreans are not giants, and it's really kind of a little bit like
No, more of the same size. Not that giant in terms of like mentality or race, but in terms of size.
Do you know what your sister did to prove she was ready?
well, I mean, she's not like officially a god yet either. She just seems like she's so much like every time we either of us tries anything, she's just good at it right away.
Oh,
Like the thing is, like, I don't hate her. Like I just she makes me feel jealous all the time.
again,
She's not bad.
It's-
She's awesome. I just feel inferior.
When's the next time you guys are gonna do something together?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of like got real mad when she took my mace and kind of.
I think what may help the most is if you just talk to her like we're talking.
Yeah.
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 I mean, we could go with you.
Kind of. It has felt good just talking about this stuff. I kind of like. I came to Sylvania because I was thinking I just wanted to, like party and not think about it. But like, it feels good to talk about it.
Yeah, and it also helps you figure things out.
Yep. Different perspectives.
Huh.
Yeah. And again, your sister may very well have something that she's scared about, or she's that
Yeah. Just think about all the pressure she's under to continuously be perfect. If that's how she's kind of set herself up, then she's got that pressure on her all the time. And that's not fun.
Yeah. See, you can come out here and go party, but she probably
Malleus, make a persuasion check with advantage.
I am horrible at charisma stuff.
I think gave you advantage.
16.
Not that bad.
There you go.
She says, you know what? I bet you're right. Because, like, I feel like, I'm always screwing things up, but that's kind of it must be different, like to feel like you could never screw anything up, and you have every that would be probably hard.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's like
She's
she
under even more pressure than you are because she makes one little slip, she might really piss off your parents because
Mm.
she's the perfect one.
Yeah.
Not that any of us are perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
imperfection allows for freedom.
Hmm. Well, I'll
Yeah.
have to think about that, but for now,
let's find someplace else.
yeah.
Hmm. Are you hungry?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure we can find some food. And they might have some music that we can eat too.
Indeed.
So I think that as you are, making your way back through, towards where some of the more active parties are, um, there is a path that seems like you didn't see it until it was right there. But looking through, you see there's a silent glade with a ring of standing stones surrounding a fallen menhir, and the toppled rock is laden with an inviting but unattended feast. She says,
Okay.
"Oh, there's some food."
Let's double check that it's not a trap. Because
Napkin gargoyle, please.
Napkin
because
gargoyle.
we don't want to.
We don't want Tarsus poisoned again.
I can absolutely napkin gargoyle again.
Napkin gargoyle.
Anyone who is
yay.
proficient can make an Arcana or History check.
Not me.
Arcana's
All right,
not
that is a
mine.
21.
That is a
Oh, wow.
21.
21.
That's a lot of good rolls. So here's why. Here's what basically this amounts to with all those high rolls is that you realize, part of one of the things that you read about when you were researching Sylvania is that there was something known as the Widow's Henge, which appears to people in this way. And the thing about it is that anyone who eats any of the food is never heard from again.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, let's.
Don't do that.
What?
Yeah. This place has a bad reputation of like people aren't heard of again when they eat here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
feels like they should put up a sign or something.
Yeah.
That's why it's a trap.
Probably moves around.
Yeah.
That too might move them around.
I would absolutely bet it moves around.
She
Let's-
stands there like
'Cause-
looking at it.
Let's go find something else.
I don't think we should eat any of that food.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think you are able to persuade her to move along. And I think the next thing that she spots, and a lot of these she's spotting before any of you have even seen it, just because she's so
Because
tall,
she's
there's no
so
people like-
tall.
Yeah, but she says, "Oh, look at that! That looks so cool!" and stomps off in that direction. And as you sort of follow her, you see it's a field of memorials, and what looks like there is a luminous creature that you suspect is divine in some way, but in a very sort of God of the Dead vibe. And a retinue of skeletons and morbidly dressed competitors are playing bocce. But here's the thing is, the
Their
balls
players
are the
are
skulls.
skulls.
Skull bocce.
Oh,
Skull bocce. Yes, and she
You
says,
know what? This would be entirely on brand for us.
Yeah.
"Oh, because of the bone thing."
because of the boat.
Because of the bone.
Well,
thing.
now we've got to play.
I think
Yes,
we
we
do.
do.
I think
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Hey, one of you had a skull or something, right? Like that
I
thing?
mean, we've all got skulls.
Well, no, I mean you had one like in a bag or something, didn't you?
Yes, I do, but that's actually a very fragile skull that we're trying to repair.
I mean,
Yeah, it wouldn't make a good ball. It's too uneven. It would catch. It wouldn't go very far.
Okay, well, we need a different skull then.
Hmm.
Um, so she looks like she is eager to just like join this game.
Okay.
But she's like watching it carefully. Is like, never played this game before, but I want to win.
I will.
I imagine her flicking a skull like a tiddlywink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radiance
Marvel.
to see. Is there like a order to who like plays next? Like kind of how like if like did they put their stack of quarters on the arcade machine?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. There's what they have. The skeletons have been doing is putting one of their finger bones on a little pile, but it is suggested to living attendees that they can just hold their finger there. They don't have to take the bone off.
Oh, how careful.
Okay.
So yeah, so she's willing to wait her turn, but she's looking really eager, and you can see her psyching herself up like, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the thing I'm good at.
Okay.
You can see her, like, you can just read it in her eyes that she is
So we have some
building this herself up in her head.
expectation
Yes.
management.
Mm.
So I am gonna like look up or it's like, if this isn't what you're good at, it's all right. You've
Well,
got
but
a
what if it
whole
is what I'm good at?
then that's good. But if you build yourself up, it hurts more if it's not the right thing.
I feel like you think that I'm not going to be good at it.
I don't know.
No. We just want you to have fun. Period.
Yeah. It's more important to have fun with something.
Sure. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Persuasion checks all night long.
I am not good at them.
18.
Okay.
It's like, you know what?
16.
This is my literally this is
This
my
is your-
jam.
I have a -1.
You know what? I
This is
think
literally what I'm built for.
you're right. You're right. Like, this was we were just talking about, like, you gotta screw up to get good, and to not put pressure on yourself to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
You're
Th-
right.
this
You're
is-
right.
This is that.
You guys give me good advice. So thank you.
We're practicing that right now.
Okay. All right. So looks like it's my turn. All right. Any last pointers before I go?
Breathe.
Breathe.
I will.
And be gentle.
As she does
gentle.
a deep breath, there's just like a gust of wind.
I will tap her over the shoulder.
Be gentle.
Gentle.
So now is this type of like a hit the ball back and forth type thing?
No, bocce is a bowling game.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's a lawn bowling
Oh,
game.
yeah.
It's kind of like croquet without mallets, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be
Well,
would guidance be better or bless?
Guidance in this
Guidance.
case. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll pat her on the shoulder and be like, "You've got this. Just take your time
Right.
and have some
And
fun
have
and
fun.
cast guidance."
yeah.
Okay. She basically has a mediocre result. Like, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like game winning, but it's respectable. And it's like, and especially is like, wow, okay. I was like, I wanted it to hit the thing, but like it was pretty close, right? All right.
Yeah,
This is a fun
see,
game.
no pressure. Yeah, see, no
All right.
pressure.
You have more fun if you don't pressure yourself.
All right. Good. So the game goes well, and she improves a little bit with each successive turn, and you don't win.
Yeah.
But again,
Expect-
that's okay.
Yeah, but she seems like she has a good time managing to keep the pressure off of herself.
She walks away with her head,
Mm.
so it's good.
Yeah. Well, there was a sign posted there that just says, don't cause trouble or your skull will be next. Um,
Uh-huh.
and
Good luck with
and
that,
I
man.
think you all, as you're hanging out there, discover that that it is in fact a retired god of the dead hosting this this
Oh.
little
Ah,
party here,
Mhm.
this bocce party, and
Awesome.
they you hang out. But
I
they
was
seem
about to say, yeah, I was about to say, if it's a retired god of the dead, they might be someone that she can ask for advice from if they're willing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
On being a god, yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
at one point, Cuspid kind of sidles up next to Radius and says, "Friends of yours?
Say again.
Friends of yours?"
Hmm.
Although, it would be, it's presumptive to think that everybody who's dead knows everybody who's dead.
A lot of dead people.
Fair guess.
He says, "You know what? Like I think that's a thought. I feel like I don't want to mess. I don't want to bring their party down, though. Maybe I could reach out to them another time.
yeah,
So you guys have been giving me such good advice. Like you asked if I wanted to be a god, and I feel like I do, but since I don't really know what's like what I like there. What if I become like a god of the sea? But I hate seafood. Like, or what if I become the god of something like embarrassing, like smelly winds, or like
Hmm.
usually gods don't tend to be gods of things they hate.
They tend to embody and
like.
embrace.
Yeah, who chooses? Does someone choose what you become a god of, or is that just kind of happen?
I think it kind of just happens. But like,
So it's
what should I be? What do you think I should be the god of?
What you like?
what do you like to do?
God
You could.
of innocent learning.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I will try it one more time. Uh,
Or it just
he Radius will come up and say, I remember this story amongst mortals about one of their ancient deities, something the god of like partying and wine. And he's sitting there thinking,
There's a
and he's
god of
like,
partying.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Th-
There are
yeah,
gods of partying.
there's multiple gods of partying. There's
yeah.
probably
Oh yeah.
And he rolls, and he's like, yeah, Bacchus, yeah. It's like
Oh,
wine.
that's a bad idea.
I mean,
no.
that guy's also the god of insanity, so probably not a good choice.
But
No.
sometimes,
No.
I was thinking
Well, but maybe
about
that means
Susano.
like the god of partying, like there's an opening.
could be.
Could be.
Ocean
mean-
party.
I mean,
But
you're gonna
no,
have
it's
your
more-
own style, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yep.
This is you don't have to figure it out right now. But think about what you want, not what other people want or what you think other people want.
Yeah. I mean, you could be a god of partying where to honor you, your people have to do a ritualistic conga line and have a good time with fireworks and displays and wine and food.
Yeah. You know what? Like, I kind of always felt like it was like this scary prospect because I just didn't know what it could be, and I was worried it could be something bad. But like, maybe it could be something good, huh?
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
something good because you seem to be a pretty good individual.
Yeah, for every god of a storm or god of war or god of forging, there's a god of partying and art and literature
Mhm.
And home and
gardening and flowers.
Hmm.
or like sunny beaches.
Beach
Well,
barbecue.
The
Yeah,
beach party.
party.
a beach party. Wow.
Beach party.
So yeah, like you're out by the water and you're having a good time. Sometimes you get a little rowdy, but also sometimes it's chill.
Huh.
Also, lots of really good food at beach parties.
Yeah.
Like all of this has really helped me feel feel better
There's
about this.
possibilities.
Yeah,
There's so many possibilities. You just have to take a deep breath, relax, go with the flow, and find what feels right to you.
Well, you know what
Yeah,
feels right
forget
right
your
now is I need to talk to Alethera. I need to
Yeah.
tell her how
Talk
I've
to
been
her about
feeling,
this.
and maybe like let her talk about how she's feeling.
Mhm,
And make sure you tell her you love her. And
mhm.
tell her that you're jealous of her, but your love is stronger than the jealousy.
She's got the lower lip kind of quivering a little bit, and she's getting big tears.
Oh.
She's like,
Like
"Thank you,
reach up and
guys."
pat her
Yeah,
And
get
she
a
hand.
hug
reaches
for
up and
Rachel.
does like a big like group hug.
Group
of, like,
hug.
Yeah.
Just all of us at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, who gets poked by Malleus's spines?
I will.
Thanks, you guys. You know, this is one of the best nights I've had in a long time, and it started off so bad, but then like you guys just made it awesome. I have to here. Let me give you this to show you my thanks. And she pulls out of like a little pouch and reaches down to hold to you. It is an amulet where the pendant is her face.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
This is probably if you have trouble,
Yeah.
let me know.
I think she
then.
probably hands it to you first, Cora, just because you kind of were talking
Mhm.
the most at the last bit there. But this is a periaptive wound closure, and it just happens to, the
Ooh.
amulet is her face.
Yeah.
I
So-
think that might
Wow.
be
Oh,
a good,
wow.
good thing
Yeah.
for Miss Barr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
when you wear it, you
Oh.
stabilize whenever you are dying at the start of your turn, and whenever you roll a hit die to regain hit points, you
Yeah.
double the number of hit points.
Good,
at your
good
start.
for a
Yeah.
fragile bard.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good for a fragile bard, but it's also good for I'm in the front line getting all the hits.
Hmm.
So we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I'll put it in my inventory for now.
Okay. So and she says, so I think I'm gonna go now, but I'll never forget you guys, and now you'll never forget me because my face is on your necklace.
Yeah.
We've been around a lot. There's no telling we may not meet again someday.
Mhm. Maybe I'll be the god of something really cool.
And hey,
Absolutely, you will be.
and if you ever want to go kill some hags and a big scary monster,
Yeah,
Put that
if you
up,
want to
we've got a
try your
revenge.
hand at being a hero god, that is a thing too. But
yeah.
do what you feels right to you.
Are you trying to talk her into doing that right now?
No,
No. No.
It's funny.
I just mentioning that it is a possibility to be a hero god, but again, that has to be what feels right to her.
Mhm. And we're cheering for you all the way.
All right. Well, I think I need to talk to my sister. So
All right.
Yeah.
bye, bye, goodbye,
Bye.
bye, bye. Yeah, and so she the ground's boom, 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 as she's walking off into the distance. And
Yay!
yeah.
Therapy by D&D party.
Literally.
Yes.
Yep.
So I think right now you're kind of still off in the outskirts, but you could probably return to wherever you felt like you
Yep.
needed to go now.
Well, we need to find that one who
Mhm.
sent us to
Spirited
this.
Danae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could certainly return to where you met her in the beginning.
That'll be the first place we look.
Definitely.
Yep.
On the way, it's like, hey, Malleus, if you were a god, what would you be god of?
You have to ask.
Boom.
Big bada boom.
It's obvious explosion.
And
Um,
there's
actually,
always boom
as we're
tomorrow.
As we're walking,
Mm-hmm.
Kneecap will stop and turn towards Tarsus. Like, what are you?
I'm
You
Tarsus.
not weird. You weird. You feel weird. You
Tarsus narrows his eyes at you.
I
I'm
mean,
Tarsus.
yes. I mean, the other Tarsuses were robots. This one doesn't seem like a robot, but I mean, that's really the only change.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, Kneecap's gonna go and kind of start poking at places where
that.
a person their sock. What?
Stop that!
Not being a robot makes you more animated.
Are you ticklish now? Is the question.
No.
I think Tarsus is still a Warforged, right? Like you talked.
Oh.
Yes,
there
yes.
was
Oh,
some
okay,
other
okay.
version.
No,
Yeah.
there's one in the wings. This
Mhm.
one's still Warforged, so
Yeah.
this is
Um,
so no retcon on that part.
No,
but
no, I'm not reckoning
so
that.
that's what you're all seeing. Although what I will say, following up on the previous perception check, Kneecap, is that it did not feel like you expected though when you were climbing on them.
You you don't feel like expected for Warforged like other Tarsus.
I'm not the other Tarsus.
Tarsus side? Tarsuses?
Tarsusy?
Tarsusite,
Tarsy?
Tarsusite.
What?
Down.
What? Tarsus will get down. What?
I told you about me. Please
Mhm.
tell me about you.
I'm Tarsus. I'm a Warforged. I can talk to people. I have some magic. I'm not sure else to it. I don't remember.
Radius will look at Kneecap and say, well, maybe it just takes some getting used to. This is a different, not different Tarsus. Sort of different Tarsus?
Want
It's
no
a Tarsus, but
want no more.
yeah, maybe just,
But later.
get used to it. Yeah.
You're all new to me. Think on that.
Yeah, see?
What
All right.
was I before?
A sorcerer.
Ooh. Okay, that's my shit.
Weird.
Yeah,
then-
this whole multi-dimensionality, whatever different version thing, we're not all going to be the same when we come through, and some of us are going to be more different than other versions. So, unless there's something else that is perfectly their right to keep to themselves and isn't going to impact the survivability of us as a group,
No,
we
like
don't we don't have to tell each other everything. But if there's something that would impact the survivability of us as a group, I would like to know.
Nope, nothing like that.
Okay.
what kind magic?
Some minor illusions. Nothing special. I'm a little bit of a dabbler in many things.
This has to be as a player be like, what is going on?
So
Yeah,
I think Spiritor Deny at this point is like, am I interrupting something?
No, yes, but we thank you for it.
Well, so I will proceed then. So thank you all very much for your expert handling of the whole Kapoha thing. I understand that she had a good time in many different locations and seems to
Is
have
headed home.
wonderful, wonderful. So I owe you all my thanks, and the location of the gate is what you requested of me. Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
please.
All right. I can lead you there right now if you like. It is currently residing in an overgrown well in the forest outside of town, but I can guide you straight there if you like.
That would be
Excellent.
lovely.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right. And then it's not too far, but you're walking along, and she's just kind of like, so what you know, are you planning to travel to Arborea? What brings you to Sylvania? Are you sticking around?
We're actually on a research mission for the portals themselves.
Really?
Mhm.
A
Interesting.
little avid curiosity.
It's part of our what's the word I am looking for? It's part of what we do.
Occupation.
Ballywick.
Thank you.
Fate.
Yes.
Sometimes, yes.
All right then.
This time, definitely yes.
Well, if your business with the portal does not take too long, feel free to return back to the center of Sylvania and party a bit more, unless you're all worn out from Empyrean sitting.
We've had quite a bit of partying in the past day or
Yeah.
so.
Understood.
But
Yes.
but if there's a section of the party that's a little bit more relaxed, then perhaps that might be a good palate cleanser.
Sure. No problem. So in any case, they lead you to this little clearing, and you can see what does look like an old well. And but as she walks over and gestures down, you can look down and see that instead of the bottom of a well, you see what looks like an incredible like redwood forest.
Oh wow.
Uh-oh.
Oh wow.
That's
All
quite
right.
disorienting.
Portal to Arborea.
All right, so
I
let's
just
do our
completely
thingy.
froze.
Are you
Everything. I did not hear what just said. What you just said.
are you
It completely
unfroze now?
froze. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm unfrozen now.
Okay. Well, it's a well it's a well with a portal in it.
Okay.
And you, like the, we're looking
redwood
into a
forest.
redwood forest.
Yeah.
How deep is
Okay.
this well?
I mean,
To be
not
fair,
terribly
'cause, like-
deep. The portal is just like, maybe a foot below the main level.
Okay.
I was worried that you'd have to go spelunking to get close enough to the
Oh.
well.
No.
Yeah.
And she says, "Well, it's here right now. It moves around. That's
Mhm.
we keep
Part of-
things
Well,
interesting here. in
Let's get it
Sylvania.
registered while it's still here.
Let's do our thing. And look over at Malleus. I believe
Malleus
Alice
is
has
our
the
official keeper.
Mhm.
All right. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it.
Sure.
Strive Sylvania? That's a good question.
Well, I mean, are you gonna go straight, just a straight description, or give any flavor?
Um.
Gonna mention, traps for not traps that are sometimes available or sometimes found.
No. I'm. There always has to be a little bit of a fly in the ointment in order for it to be a really good party. um. All right. So the basic gist of it is the gate moves throughout the area, which is surrounded by parties, good times, good vibes, and good people.
Nice.
It's basically just a generic, but reinforcing the fact that it does not stay in one place.
Well, you also certainly had some not good experiences. Are you leaving that out?
Um,
Watch out for having too much of a good time.
Watch out for
Well,
watch out for
it's-
moody Imperians.
Well,
there's
it's like there are some who would take advantage of unwary partiers. So just keep your
Yeah.
wits about you.
yeah. Um, even
Seriously.
even so, It's important to keep your wits about you. As you travel.
Okay.
Um,
Seems like you're being accurate, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing your best to describe it as you really perceived it.
and experienced it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Like I said, cursed was an experiment, but that's kind of like an outlier because it can't get really much worse than being trapped in cursed.
Well, you say
The
that.
place is cursed.
Yeah.
Never say something like that because we could always find something worse.
Yeah.
Well, I am here to enable our DM.
Yeah.
That is
Well,
the
I mean,
purpose-
for
that
one
is my
thing,
pur-
one of the things that was bad about Cursed is how they would throw people in the portal to Carcerai.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah. So in any case, though, so you go ahead and you record, and the mimir kind of chimes and the eyes glow. So you've now completed 3 out of 7, I think, right?
Yes, 3.
Yeah.
And I will stuff the mimir back in my bag.
All right. Okay. So, you tell me what you would like to do next. You know, you could
Have
return
something
to
to
more
eat, take a
partying,
nap,
or
and
I would like to assemble the ingredients for another hero's brunch.
Mhm.
Now, seems to be the kind of place where buying food is just like not done. It seems to be. I mean, we haven't passed any like catering places where
Well,
these parties are arranged.
yeah. So you
Right?
have been walking through basically the party area. If you were to
Okay.
look for it, you could kind of find the staging and behind the scenes.
Okay, so if we wanted to
areas.
throw a party, we would have to pay for this.
Yeah.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. So
So the point being, if you want to go somewhere where you can buy stuff, that it can be found here.
Okay.
It's a little bit like Vegas, where you sort of have to work at it a little bit to find the places that are like ordinary stores. But
right,
you know,
right, backstage.
but it
yes.
does exist. Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to spend the the 100 gold pieces worth to put together a hero's feast.
Right.
And the version I'm going to serve to my friends without telling them is the enlarged version, where we all double in size.
You're not, are you serving it now, or are you just,
I'm getting
You're-
the ingredients.
you-
We're gonna
so that-
have this
yeah.
thing before we go, and like you guys like the pixie party. I figured I'd do it in reverse.
Okay.
And,
Yeah. I was thinking of
Oh.
doing that at some point. Like if we had continued to do partying, and it's like I think I'd even said, let's do one where we could do this in reverse.
Mhm.
Yes.
So you all share a nice meal and finish it by growing to twice your size.
Yes.
Hey, Decap and Melius are
6 feet tall.
Oh,
I think Mally's
It's something I
teeth
wanna
are a
do,
lot more
Jam.
threatening
Oh, okay.
at this
Yeah.
height.
if we're all growing, then if you allow me, GM, I'd like everyone to make a perception check.
Okay.
and
18.
17.
And Kneecap?
10.
I think Malleus and Coracoid briefly saw a flicker as Tarsus grew to full size, to double size.
Okay, I'm just personally thinking it's like he's doing some sort of glamour for some reason and trying to push him on it, as long as it's a not going to damage us thing. he can approach us at his own speed.
I think Malleus is curious but distracted by the fact that
Yeah, this is huge.
he's now 6 feet tall.
It's a
Kneecap
dream.
is
You
5'10".
kind of looked at.
It's your dream.
I am big, and he starts doing Godzilla impressions.
Boy.
By being
Correct.
being medium sized.
Mm.
Got it.
Reach
Well,
things on
he's
the
just
top
a little
shelf.
guy.
Yeah.
He's only like 3 feet tall.
All right, so it sounds like you want a continuing to party while double-sized montage. So I would invite everyone. We can have like a little montage of vignettes. So everyone take turns describing one little scene of the partying that happens before you decide to make your way back to the walking castle.
I have something.
Okay.
I gets involved with a with a gnome tossing
Oh my god.
where like and because he's big he can actually toss. Where normally he would be the one being tossed. But like it's like there's a net that they actually get thrown into and it's like bets are made on who
bullseye in the center of the net,
on who can throw furthest.
All right.
Cuspid is mostly enjoying watching what other people are doing with it, but she's she seems to be kind of sitting back and just watching and like taking in the perspective. She's being kind of passive about her enjoyment.
Sure.
I think Malleus goes and hunts down those Mussolini musicians
Okay. The
with
mouse
the
mouse folk
halfling.
ones?
Yeah, with the halfling bard, and hunts them down for a good time. Drags Korakoid after him because, like, dude, you have to hear these guys. These are awesome.
All right, I'll get dragged along, and then like if I can like do it smoothly, like kind of join in because
Sure. Yeah, these guys are pretty good
Jam
at
session.
jam sessions. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Anyone else got one?
Tarsus just goes off for a while. You don't see him or where he went. Or what he did.
Well, Radius doesn't eat, sleep, or drink, so he just kind of floats around between our different groups if they split up, watching the musicians jam session for a while, and then where'd Tarsus go? Oh. Then he'll find a place, and to not seem as awkward, he will order a drink from somewhere, but he's just kind of holding it.
Nice.
Yeah, like a beer can full of water kind of thing.
What about kneecap?
Or
Oh,
liquid
kneecap
candy.
did the tossing, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Never mind.
tossing gnomes.
Right, never mind. That's very good. Never mind.
All right. Cool. So I think if the partying eventually is, you're all ready to bring that to close.
Mm-hmm.
You returning to the walking castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Indeed.
So you make your way back out of town and return, and you are once again able to reboard the walking castle, which had a name that I keep forgetting because it's only in a very specific place that I would have to open up that whole article.
It's the walking.
It's
It's the walking
Yeah.
castle. Thafir
Yep.
is there.
Lekaru.
Lekaru, that's right. Good job.
The Karu, yes.
All right. So, what's next?
when Kneecap is done, he has like flowers all over in his hair.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like almost like a bouquet replaced his hair.
So you had fun.
It good.
Is the lady we found, is she still on the ship helping us pilot it?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's technically her castle. We're just
Yeah.
renting it.
Yeah. So she has made it available for your use to further your mission. But yeah, technically it's hers.
I will have on the way back snagged like a bottle of wine or something to bring to her since she didn't leave the thing.
Oh, very nice.
And we've been partying all night.
Yeah. So
Partying big time.
Right.
Mhm.
make an intelligence check
Oh,
to
okay.
to try to or insight. Either is okay.
Yeah, I'll try insight. Let's do this.
To try to guess what kind of wine she would like.
17.
That's pretty good. Yeah, she says, "Oh, well. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, you know.
You'll have to share a glass with me, otherwise it's sad."
Sure. And he Radius will, because it's like she helps us. We're using the ship, traveling around, but she didn't get to go party with us.
Mhm.
She didn't get to do the conga line.
It's like, "Oh, I had my partying phase. I'm all right, thank you."
Have you had a lot of experience with the Hyperions?
Empyreans?
Imperions.
Ah, fascinating. Not really. That is it is something that you would certainly encounter more likely here in the Outlands than in the Astral Sea or other places that I have spent more of my time. But
Good though. She wasn't too bad. A little ambitious. Not bad.
Oh, thank-
well, it comes with the territory, I should think.
Yeah. Her name was Kahopa. I think it was
Kapoha.
Kapoha.
Kapoha, very good at tap.
Yeah, she said she had a famous mother and father and sister.
I mean, I don't know them off the top of my head, but we could research if you're interested.
Mhm.
Actually, I would, seeing as they had interesting abilities of manipulating weather and elements.
All right. So yeah, I mean, you can go research that if you want. You all tell me what you want to do.
Yeah.
I think we should get started going to our next destination.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
the next gate city we're going to?
Funnel.
Oh,
Yep, just the next one
Yeah,
over.
the next one over is also on the list for sure.
Yep.
And this is the one that connects to the
Beast
Beastlands.
Mhm.
Yeah. And oh, look, there's the realm of the Norn.
Mm-hmm.
The real
I don't
realm
think
of
we
the
actually
Norns.
reached it before.
No, you didn't. I mean, yeah, like that was the line to get
Yeah.
you to follow, right? All right. So you start the walking castle in the direction of Faunal. It's not far. It'll be, a day or so to get there, you think.
Boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you researching Faunal, I would imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys can initiate these things instead of waiting for me to ask, if you want. Just let me know what else you would want to do. But go ahead and make your. Oh, look at that,
Natural
natural
20.
20. Okay, so
Nice.
what you discover about Faunal is that there is a bit less than you might usually find, if only because a lot of what exists is now out of date, because what was once the gate town of the Beastlands semi-recently got absorbed into the Beastlands. And so there are parts of that town that were left behind Um, but a lot of it was just absorbed into the actual other plane, and so therefore it's kind of rebuilding. It's being reestablished by stragglers, newcomers, and a lot of sapient animals who happened to be away when the rest of the town disappeared.
Mhm.
And so there are ancient ruins from the old town that were rejected when the rest of the town got absorbed. So there's a lot of these ancient ruins and surrounded by lush vegetation that sprouts from the cracked foundations of a crumbling, forgotten city. Um, and there are definitely sort of environmental hazards associated with sort of thriving jungle type environments.
Mhm.
And the primary inhabitants now are, as mentioned, a lot of sapient animals who
Mhm.
can speak, but then also just anyone who kind of comes by. But a lot of what the town used to be isn't there anymore. Um, it is you do get the indication that there are three primary factions of awakened beasts that seem to be sort of jockeying for position, like trying to figure out is one of them going to be like the ruler of the new town, or how's that all going to work out? And there are um, the the three factions are basically divided largely along kind of species lines. That there's a faction of predators run by a tiger by the name of Ebon. There is a herbivore faction led by where is hang on, let me make sure I'm reading this
Tiger
properly.
Bunny.
Um,
Big bunny time.
uh,
Some things are a classic.
where is
Yep.
my? I have to get the right um, chapter. Because I found the thing that is it's more about the like the stat block than the description. So I'm just want to make sure I'm giving you the. Yeah, so the three factions though, there's the predators, the herbivores, and birds have formed a third faction.
The Corvid conspiracy.
Yeah, but so a lot of what you have is that the situation is now very fluid because it's not what it once was, and it is unclear how it's all going to eventually shake out. But right now, things are in flux.
Man.
Well, hopefully that won't cause us any problems.
Yeah. What direction are you? So technically, you had left the Walking Castle kind of on the outskirts on this side. Are you directing it to kind of go through the forest here, or up around to the north through those sort of
I
crevasses?
I think the crevasses full of mysterious rib bones seem like a less hospitable environment than the rolling hills covered with forest.
Yeah.
Now, given what we've seen, the rolling hills covered with forest could be just as threatening, but
At least it'll be pretty.
Obvious
Yeah.
danger.
Obvious danger, hidden danger.
Mm-hmm.
so yes, we're gonna cut to the west and then head that way.
Okay.
And there's also that field of multicolored crystals
Mm-hmm.
down to the southwest. But after our experience with the coral, I am tempted to
Do we want to lose another
pass it up.
Tarsus?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God,
mean,
that'd
you
be
got some good
hilarious.
money for those coral
Yes,
pieces.
yes, we
Yeah.
do.
Blood money. Blood money.
I mean, it's all we. I mean, look at us. We. That's it. That's. I mean,
All a spade is spade.
Hmm.
I think if we do go there, we should, see if we could ask if there's anybody in charge that we need to be careful of.
Well, it sounds like they don't right now because.
Well, I mean, like
For
the
the reasons.
crystal.
He's talking about the
Crystal
crystals
area.
and harvesting more crystals.
Oh
and
yeah.
Yeah.
what does
May-
Tarsus look like turned into a crystal? I feel like
Hey.
a Folgers commercial here.
No.
We've replaced our party member with.
With Folgers
Folgers
crystals. Who will notice?
It's
It was super effective.
Listen, the best part of waking up is Tarsus.
You know,
Dear
sometimes I'm glad we don't have a lot of followers because young folks would not know what we were
No,
talking
no, no.
about.
I think a lot of people know from memes about the commercial with the man and the
Oh.
woman who seem like they're doing an
Oh, the-
obvious romantic chemistry thing,
Oh,
and
that
then the
one.
reveal is that
Yeah.
they're brother and sister.
Yeah,
And it's like,
no.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I think if someone wanted to know about the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup, it's they can go to YouTube and find.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else that you all want to cover or business you want to do? Spending a day in the
someone-
walking castle.
Didn't someone want to research Kapoha's parents?
Oh yeah. We want to
Sure.
find out about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm also going to take a little bit of time of like maintenance on my instruments and such. I've been in a couple of different environments, so I want to just do a tune up on the tuners.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll assist Radius in his research attempt on
Kapoha?
Kapoha.
Okay. Yeah. So, go ahead and make a check. With advantage. Although, I mean, I'll be straight up that the adventure does not have this material, so I'll be
Oh.
working with whatever
Make
you
it
get
up.
a roll on. But
What is this? History or investigation?
investigation.
Natural 20.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
What?
Yeah, so I think you do absolutely find that it is not here in the Outlands, but in one of the various material planes that connects to this nexus of many worlds. There are, in fact, gods of storms that you understand to be Kapoha's parents, and that there are, various myths about the challenges of the two daughters vying for their parents' attention.
Ooh.
And so here's the thing, like I said, with the natural 20, I would kind of want to reward with
Yeah.
something useful, but what kind of things were you hoping to find out?
Honestly, I was trying to, he wants to keep them in the back of his mind because honestly, an 18-foot tall person who can control the weather,
Mm-hmm.
not a bad person to have as a call up.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's a drought in this place. We need some help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? With the natural 20, I'll say you find that with the amulet that Cora has, as a connection to her, there is a ritual that you could do that would contact her.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
duly
It
noted.
does not mean that she can, in a straightforward way, just immediately be
Right.
wherever you are, but you could reach her.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Kneecap would spend the day observing Tarsus because
Mhm.
there's something strange and he wants.
So by observing Tarsus, what do you precisely mean? Are you like trying to shadow me everything I do, or are you just like trying
Kind
to
of
be there
be-
whatever I do?
be
Or
in
what?
view of you. Basically,
Just
anytime
every
you're
time you look up, there he is.
Yes, I have.
Staring
Oh
at
my
you.
God!
not
Yeah.
necessarily not like a big staring, just like
Every step you take,
Oh,
every
yeah.
breath
Just
you
sort of like
take,
in a
every
corner,
move you
I-
make, I'll be watching
looking
you.
sidelong at you.
Okay, so you will see Tarsus seemingly explore the castle from top to bottom, going into every room, looking at everything, talking with that they are talking with Felix, spending a lot of time with Felix.
So, what do you talk with Felix about?
From Kneecap's point of view, it sounds like almost as if Tarsus is trying to get to know Felix and try to understand who and what he is in a way that maybe Tarsus should already known. But he focuses on his fears, his hopes for where he wants to go, trying to figure out what Felix's deal is. Once he figures out Zesthir runs the castle, that's a brief conversation. He studies maps. He looks at the map a lot, and he talks to Felix about what he does, about who he is and what he does.
Okay.
I've sent you a Discord DM, OGM.
Okay, let me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Got it good. To quote Danny Cat.
Okay, so a lot of exploring, talking, conversations. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
And occasionally, maybe Cor will pick this up, but since I have a gnomish shadow, every so often Tarsus takes out a flute and plays it. Very melancholy, very sad, very minor key.
interesting. Well, I think one of these times, let me actually just make sure I do. Okay. One of these times that you're playing, you hear you hear some bird pipes being played and trying to match, but not particularly good at it. And Kneecap has a small set that
Interesting.
yeah. But yeah, he doesn't actually say anything. He just plays and watches.
Mm-hmm. All right. So,
All right.
I would imagine are probably like taking a long rest or whatever as
Yep.
overnight. And
Yep.
and I think you'll
Yeah.
be near Funnel in the morning.
Oh, by the way, Christina, do I regain my hit points? Because when I got turned back from a mouse, I had half my max.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you certainly when you that was just
It wasn't like a permanent thing.
no, it wasn't a permanent reduction. It was just that's how many you have coming back.
Okay.
Not your total, but your just how many you had. No worries. But yeah, back to normal completely. All right. So, I think the plan is to get down and explore Funnel next, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so as you set the castle down and excuse me, head towards the direction of where you expect the town to be, the calls of wildlife echo through a region where varied types of wildernesses meet. Forests, savannas, rocky deserts, mangrove swamps, tundras, and more form a wild patchwork. A faint ribbon of smoke leads to a collection of temporary structures that form a modest trading camp amid a sparse woodland. As you draw closer, the eyes of your Mimir glow green.
How do we find the portal here?
So that's a good point. That is one of the things that you would have learned in your research. Is that There is deep in the vine-choked ruins. There is a tranquil pool at the foot of a stone statue, and the pool's waters um, replicate the effects of the awakened spell, which is how a lot of the animals here became, sapient and able to speak. Because any beast that drinks from this pool is awakened in that way. And there is a guardian of the gate that is near that pool, and the portal is basically under their protection.
Aha.
Okay, so we need to find the pool, then find the guardian, convince them to let us closer, and then cow baby, we're out.
What a time not to have a cat in the castle.
I suddenly just the way that you said that, Lee, made me think you were saying cow baby, and it just like the animal.
Oh,
So,
baby.
cow baby, it's a cow baby.
Awakening a cat would be a double-edged sword. At best.
So yes, you understand that this trading post has a big old sign that designates it Camp Greenbrier, and you see that there are a lot of sapient animals, and a small population of humanoids have put together sort of a ramshackle trading post here in the jungle. It does not appear to be guarded. Relatively small place, rustic, but it's where people can buy the necessities.
Well,
Weren't we thinking about buying some potions of healing?
That was on our agenda. I'm not sure this would be the best place to find those. I mean, I certainly
Well,
wouldn't have wanted to buy them back in Sylvania, because chances are good using one would make you sprout feathers or something.
Yeah. Well, I think putting cash into a
Okay.
community that's
we can
growing.
check. We can
Yeah.
look.
So you're suggesting we might want to try to improve the local foreign economy
Yeah.
by spending our hard-earned
You know-
gold? I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you're kind of looking around at the available choices, you don't immediately see what looks like a lot of high magic potion sellers, but that doesn't necessarily mean it would be impossible. But then you hear a voice is, "Hello, travelers.
It's a sloth.
Turtle.
Fresh faces are always welcome.
Malleus looks up
in
looking for a
Camp
giant.
Greenbrier." And
and Kneecap looks down.
a giant sloth wearing a
Hi,
bracelet
sloth, you call it-
of
you call
claws
it.
and feathers is dangling from a nearby tree and waving a 3-clawed paw at you.
Hello. Thank you for your greeting.
You're welcome. My name is Razak.
Pleased to meet you, Razak. We are, you know what? I've forgotten the name of our group.
The skeleton
Skeleton
crew.
Skeleton
Crew.
Crew, right. I was like,
Yeah.
Bone? What?
Bone-
No, the
bone
Skeleton
hunters?
Crew.
No.
I'm Cuspid. This is Kneecap and Radius and Malleus and
Cora.
Coracoid and Tharsis, and we're actually looking to visit the gate here. We don't want to go through it, we just want to visit it.
Oh, how interesting. I would be very pleased to act as your guide. I can show you all the local sites.
I'm going to look at the rest of the group.
Sounds like he's.
You know, we're not in a terrible rush. This might be something we want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear it. Follow me on the way. I can tell you all of my favorite things to do in Faunel.
I'm gonna kill him. No, I'm not.
I am going to die.
This is a different Tarsus, remember.
Yes. So in any case, yeah, like he's moving along, and like, yeah, he's slow. You know, you know, walking easily keeps up with him, and he's just saying, "It's a good opportunity for me to get some exercise."
Mhm.
Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy mind.
In the meantime, do you have any questions?
How
I
how long
think-
have you been here? When did you awaken?
Oh, I have been awakened for 4 years now, but I was visiting relatives and ended up staying there longer than I expected. And while I did, the rest of the city disappeared.
Disappeared?
It went to the Beastlands.
Oh, you were there when part of the city was reclaimed?
I was not there because I was
Visiting relatives.
relatives, yes. But it was an adjustment to be sure. But now we have the opportunity to rebuild.
And
How's
perhaps
that
better.
going?
Hmm.
How's that going? The rebuild.
Well, so far, the predators and the herbivores and the birds don't get along.
Is there actual bloodshed between them?
Not as much as would be expected during an actual war or anything like that, but animals can be vicious sometimes, and there's definitely tension. I try to stay out of it myself.
Good plan. Good plan.
But does he actually seem like he does try and stay out of it?
Sure, you want to make an insight check?
14.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you feel like if Razak needed to hesitate in order to think of a lie, you would definitely notice.
Mhm.
Um, is this not opening? What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Um, so he is taking you to the portal, and so you are finding yourself going off, into the jungle. But
Mhm.
I'm trying to reopen the. Okay, here it is. Um, Before too long, um, you've made your way nearly a mile in about like an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
And you find yourself approaching a peaceful pond surrounded by vine-covered ruins. A 20-foot tall statue of a human with glowing eyes kneels by the pool. And there is definitely there is a handout of this. Where is it? Okay, here we go. I will show you. Well, okay. The handout is teensy bit spoilery, so I'll go ahead and share it with you. I'm sharing with you the faunal handout, which has at the top of it a did it just it closed it. I shared it with you, but then it closed it off of my screen. So
I never saw it. Yeah.
it should be in your journals now. But if you
Oh,
scroll a
oh.
bit down to where it says gate, there is a big piece of artwork with showing a pool and a tapir and a big statue in the background, some capybaras in there.
Mhm.
And
I think
and
that's
also something else that you don't know about yet. But yes, so as you approach, Razak says, "That's the gate guardian. He is really, really nice. If he thinks you're not trouble. But if
what do we
he
do
thinks
to
you are trouble, he's really, really scary."
what does he consider trouble?
Well, hang on. So I'm getting. Are you not able to find in your journals the
I found it.
Okay.
I
It should be under like player handouts or something like that, right?
Yep.
Player handouts, supplemental handouts.
Yeah, supplemental.
Yeah, I've got one. It's all like, oh, there it is. Okay, there's some
Yeah,
art in it.
Yeah, I said you have to scroll down to where it says gate. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
okay, I see.
Yeah. So in any case, he he's like, but I'll let you attend to your business.
Thank you.
I'll wait here
Fair enough.
Very
so
well.
I can accompany you back to the camp when you're done talking to the guardian.
Oh God. You're so good at this, Christiana. It's like, oh,
Yeah. I think we just stand there for another minute, just waiting to see if he's going to say something else. And when he does it, it's like, okay.
Okay, now we can leave.
it's like a Minnesota goodbye.
Midwest goodbye.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
not a
Like
Jewish
you
goodbye.
just
however.
you just start away and he says, "But if." All right.
I
Anyway,
was
yeah.
about to say not like a Jewish goodbye.
Okay, so I think as you go to kind of approach the pool, the statue's eyes glow and the head turns toward all of you, and it says, "Approaching humanoids, what is your purpose here?"
We seek the grail. Oh, wait, no, we're
Is it correct? Only the penitent shall pass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different movie.
No, I think that's the same one.
We merely wish to visit the gate. We do not wish to go through. We do not wish any harm to come to this wondrous place.
I sense the truth in your reply. You may proceed under my protection. And it reaches out a hand and then gestures to a little, like what looks sort of like a cave in the cliffside.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you are able to approach, and you see there's a portal in there.
Does the
Does the Mimir's eyes
Yep.
blink?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yay. All right.
Awesome. That 2-for-1 hit.
but I feel like this is too easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the way
Hush
back.
you! Stop it! No!
It's the way back where
No,
we're gonna get
don't put the
ambushed
curse on it.
because
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that reminds me. It's like you don't see the thing in the foreground of the picture I showed you.
Yeah, no, I paid absolutely no attention to the thing in the foreground of the
Mhm.
picture that you showed us.
yeah.
right.
All right, so I'm going to describe the portal is hidden in a cave, protected by a guardian spirit. In and just basically describe what I had seen.
Mm-hmm. All right, and yeah, let me just capture that you're doing that for funnel.
You don't have a good sense of this town. You're going to doing a lot with Rezek in your speech, I think. Not that there's a lot of this town to
All
actually
right,
capture.
so I am assuming you kind of said you're just straight up what you have seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
You're being accurate. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, and the Mimir chimes, boom, indicates that you have now completed the entry needed for Fonel.
Awesome. Stuff it back in my bag.
All right.
Nice.
Because that is a hot commodity. I do
Mhm.
not want to
Yes.
lose it.
Let's get back and let's get back to the walking ship because again.
Oh, yeah,
Wanna get back
two
to the
portals
ship.
in one day. Like, yeah, when's the
Yeah,
hammer
This
gonna
is
drop?
this setting is a bit more rustic than I would prefer. So I think it's fine
You
to
want a
get
bigger city?
well. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a dazzling urbanite, but this.
Oh, I would.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
But
I
I, I'm
uh,
I'm prepared for leaving and still have my guard up because this is way too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
I think my adventure senses are tingling.
Yeah. Well, sure. So, but yeah. So, you have done what you needed to do. Are you? I mean, are
Mhm.
you going back by way of Razak?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just some of what you were saying made it sound like you're gonna like sneak out or something.
No.
Okay. Which
No.
I get it. But okay. So, he says,
I think well, one thing before we go, I think Kneecap would basically take a little bit of his hair, tie it in a bow, and place at the feet of the guardian as a thank you.
the statue kind of makes a big production of leaning down to look carefully at what you've left there, then straightens back up. Thanks.
And goes away.
Oh boy.
Bows and
Yeah.
walks away.
Oh no.
All right.
It takes
Yeah.
10 minutes to say hello.
So he's well, well, well. Did you finish your business with the gate?
We did.
Yep.
It did indeed.
That's good to hear. Where next?
Back to the city. I'd like to poke around, see some of
Sure.
the stores and things.
Follow me.
Take
And sure
our slow
enough,
way back
taking
again.
you back. But I think as you are as you are making your way back, your adventure sense is tingling accurately. Um, I mean, I would hope so.
Oh,
Um,
it's honestly one of those things of, okay, we're in an area that's got a
Mhm.
three-way political power struggle going
Mhm.
on. New people show up.
People are gonna pay attention to that.
Happen.
Someone else is going to have noticed and gone, all right, let's see
Mhm.
what these people are up to. Can we use them? Yada yada.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So as you are making your way here, from up ahead comes the sounds of voracious snapping, punctuated by frantic laugh-like vocalizations. And then, as you do you hurry to kind of see what that is?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's run towards
the
the danger.
source
If
is
we're
a band
adventurers.
of gnolls, which are like humanoid hyena people,
Mhm.
messily consuming the recently slain carcass of a giant ibex. And this ibex was wearing a necklace.
Oh.
And the um, when the gnolls look at you, they sort of yipe to each other and get ready to attack. But because we are nearing the end of this session, I think we will end it here
Yes.
rather than initiate
Hmm.
this combat.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, looks like there's gnolls about.
Mhm.
And
Well,
what
are they
those
regular gnolls?
regular gnolls. Yes, they're actually not regular gnolls. They're special gnolls. But we'll see
They're
what.
gnolls with levels.
Yes.
Mm,
So we will find
so
out
many
what
levels.
they're hungry for adventure. And we'll have to get that adventure when we return next week for more adventure on so many levels.
So
So
many
many
levels.
levels.